and other resolutions adopted by members, and that will come subsequently in the bulletin. Or it's ready, we'll take it now.
The second phase of the National Sugar Master Plan had several policy measures and fiscal incentives towards stimulating demand and attracting private sector investment in the sugar industry. Under the first phase, implemented from 2012 to 2022, 4 major investors who invested in the industry, including Dangote and Boa Groups, jointly acquired about 200,000 hectares of land for sugarcane production to enable them produce sugar locally, and in the process created 15,000 jobs.
We are hoping that as a result of this phase 2, we'll be able to create 110,000 jobs from it. We are hopeful that Nigeria will be able to produce 1.7 to 1.8 million metric tons of sugar a year, thus eliminating the $350 million that we spent on the importation of raw sugar. We are hoping to produce 161 million liters of ethanol annually, which will thus eliminate $65.8 million of ethanol imports annually. We're hoping to generate 400 megawatts of electricity, and we're hoping to produce 1.6 million tons of animal feed annually.
His mines and steel development counterpart, Olamilekong Adegbite, also secured a 1.5 billion naira approval for the construction of a 27-kilometer long and 2.9-meter high retaining wall around the Salt Lake in Ebonyi State.
We have that resource there in Ebonyi State. There are salt lakes. You know, the salt oozes from under, and the salt comes there when the water dries out. But when the rain comes, it washes the salt out, which is why we are putting the retaining wall now, so the salt cannot go out. We can mine it. So this will be the first of its kind in Nigeria. It will of course replace all the money we spent, about $88 million annually, importing such salt.
This is on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, who presented a memo for the approval of the award of contract for the rehabilitation of the Iduani Otuo Road, which links Ondo and Edo states. The contract is for a sum of 27 billion naira.
Meanwhile, a 580.5 million naira contract has been approved for the procurement of 4 customized security vehicles of 14-seater model for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
It is common knowledge to all that of recent, NDLEA have been recording an extraordinary, unprecedented success. Between January and July 2022, NDLEA have succeeded in arresting over 18,940 suspects. They have equally secured 2,904 convictions within the period, which has led in effect to the unprecedented reprisal attacks on officers. So with the progress being recorded, it becomes relevant and necessary that the agency be supported with armored vehicles.
Of recent recollection in memory, the minister said, is the seizure of 1,855 kilograms of cocaine valued at $278 million or 194 billion naira in Lagos by the agency, the largest in the history of the drug war in Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
A high-powered National Council on Climate Change has been inaugurated with a mandate to formulate appropriate policies towards achieving green growth and sustainable economic development for Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the ceremony before the commencement of the Federal Executive Council meeting. We will take that subsequently in the course of the bulletin. The Senate is considering a bill that seeks to regulate and formalize the employment of domestic workers in Nigeria. The bill, sponsored by Senator Sani Musa, also canvasses regulation of apprenticeship, interns, and other informal sector employees, and to empower the National Directorate of Employment to issue license and monitor privately owned employment agencies so as to check abuse.
Issues in informal sector labor practice within the informal sector of Nigerian economy show evidence of violation of employees' rights and non-implementation of labor regulations.
Globally, Mr. President, this private sector is purely regulated in the interest and for the interest of every citizen of any of those countries above, including Nigeria, so that we protect those who are also employing. At the same way, we are also protecting those who are being employed. I think if this is not properly captured, that also should be looked at.
And monitor privately owned employment agencies whose responsibility will be to enroll employees in their data bank, safeguard and enhance their social security, and oversee their recruitment by employers who engage in legitimate occupation on such terms and conditions as may be agreed by the parties, and for other related matters. 2022 second reading taken.
President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, in the meantime, says the 9th National Assembly will leave no stone unturned in the process of unraveling issues surrounding non-compliance with the laws guiding the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. This was his pledge while inaugurating the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Non-Compliance with the Petroleum Act and Oil Mining Lease. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Non-adherence to the guidelines for oil and gas exploration in Nigeria, loss of oil revenue, as well as other challenges bedeviling oil investment in Nigeria are some of the issues that this Senate Ad Hoc Committee is mandated to investigate.
This investigation is an opportunity to right the wrongs and bring any offender to book as obtainable outside the shores of this country.
President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, said the investigation will cut across the international oil companies in Nigeria and the relevant government agencies.
Who are stealing our oil in massive scale that makes our country to lose so much from what ordinarily should be our revenues, should have no hiding place.
The legislation process, when completed, is expected to strengthen investments in the country's oil and gas sector within the confines of the law. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill to establish the Office of Budget Management of the Federation. The bill, jointly sponsored by the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, and Representative Henry Nwauba, seeks to provide a legal framework for the management of budget process in Nigeria. It also seeks to ensure effective regulation in budget preparation, presentation, implementation, and auditing. Over 1,600 officers whose letters of employment are either fake or illegal have been detected, with 874 officers suspended from the IPPIS platforms for not updating their records, and 3,657 did not present themselves for the exercise. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Fola Shadi Yemieson, informed members of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Service Matters who were on an oversight visit for monitoring the 2021 and 2022 budget performance of the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. Haman Jabani will tell us more.
In a move to make the Nigerian civil service one of the best in the world, the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation introduced and implemented the Human Resources Component Module of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, which has assisted in bridging the gap created by the implementation of the IPPIS project detected, as well as correcting the fraudulent cases pertaining to personal records of civil servants. This, among many other reasons, so members of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Service Matters, led by its chairman, Sani Bala, commending the head of civil service and her team for the effort at raising the bar of the service.
Nigerian civil service government processes should be completely digitalized to reduce corruption, enhance transparency, accountability, and a more efficient civil service and government. We as politicians want good governance.
Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Eso, says the introduction and implementation of Human Resources Component Module of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll System, IPPIS, has sanitized the system and that several welfare packages were introduced, while Performance Management System, PMS, is replacing the present APA system in 2023 for better service delivery and productivity in the service.
We've been able to enroll all and verify all core civil servants on the HR module of the IPPS, and we can give you every day now the number of verified officers, core civil servants. And while we were doing that, we also were able to detect about 1,618 officers whose letters of employment were either fake or illegal.
She said the reward and recognition scheme and the provision of group life assurance for federal government employees has also been introduced. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Still from the House of Assembly, the House of Representatives observes that there is a visible improvement in the general state of security on the Abuja-Kaduna road. But the non-completion of the reconstruction of the road has led to gridlock, sometimes leaving commuters stranded for days. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that House members during plenary urged federal government to take action.
The issue was raised as a matter of urgent public importance by Representative Garba Deti Mohammed. He notes that the road is of economic importance as it is a major link between the northern and southern parts of Nigeria.
As the construction is going on, Julius Berger decided to park its personnel and equipment in the Jere-Kaduna portion of the road. Intense rainfall of the past few months has given way to gauges and potholes that have left the road unmotorable and severely slowed down traffic.
The House urged the Ministry of Works and Housing to direct the contractor to resume work, and thus federal government should deploy military to secure resources and equipment mobilized for the project. The motion from Zakaria Ugaladima urging federal government assistance to the family of the cleric killed in Yobe was adopted. Among bills that passed second reading are the two sponsored by the House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila. The first bill seeks establishment of a National Religious Harmony Commission, and the second seeks to prohibit late payments of workers' wages, pensions and other emoluments.
It is an all-important bill, but after the establishment of the bill and secondment, we just allow it go without even being debated.
Two bills were read the third time and passed, including the bill repealing the National Lottery Act.
To regulate the operations and business of gaming in Nigeria and enhance revenue generation for the government of the Federation, to complement the funding gap of the Commission and for related matters.
Bill to establish Office of Budget Management of the Federation passed first reading. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Away from the National Assembly now. Rehearsals for Nigeria's 62nd anniversary since gaining independence has kicked off in earnest at Eagle Square in Abuja. Without revealing too much, defense correspondents Ismail Musa and Naja'atu Tijani bring us highlights of the rehearsals.
Excitement is in the air for these citizens who are privileged to catch a glimpse of rehearsals for the forthcoming Independence Day Parade at Eagle Square.
What interests me most is the way the cultural troupe they displayed how we got our independence and how the Civil War broke up, and after that they now resolved that we should live together.
The marching order and then the display of the aircraft and all that yeah.
This year's parade will center on the theme of strength in unity and will also have elements of surprise.
The leaders positively comes together to let the dream and aspiration of every patriotic citizen come true.
Without giving much away, it promises to be an exciting parade full of pomp and pageantry as Nigeria marks 62 years since gaining independence.
As a citizen, I think the change stands for me.
Do you know how old Nigeria is going to be on Saturday?
62.
What do you wish Nigeria at 62?
I wish them about good luck.
Naja Atutijani, NTA News.
Let's now join Hingino in Lagos for more on Nationwide. It's over to you, Hingino.
Thank you, Lydia. As anticipated, the political space in Nigeria will come alive once again in the build-up to the 2023 general elections as INEC takes the lead of public campaign for the polls. In this report, Ruth Ario-Samuel feels the pulse of Nigerians in Lagos on their expectations as long as the campaign lasts.
About this time 4 years ago, the political space in Nigeria was agog with lots of activities as parties and candidates seeking political offices canvass votes from Nigerians. As all eyes are on the political parties and their players, the electorate is full of expectations. It is also expected that the political climate will definitely change as those seeking votes will deploy a series of strategies to win people to their sides, while the media space will also reflect the new mode. What should be the watchword?
As far as the preparation for the election is concerned, in terms of INEC's roles and responsibilities, we are very happy with the progress we are making.
We need platforms that enable engagement, proper engagement with the voters, where candidates can sit and speak to us, and the audience, the voters, the citizens, are in a position to ask them questions.
The call for issue-based campaigns is also louder as the campaigns get underway.
Issues Nigerians are asking, how we are going to resolve our economic issues, how we are going to bring stability into the country, addressing foreign exchange, even businesses generally.
We don't want them to engage in reckless driving, display of unsafe attitudes on the road.
While the political umpire is putting final touches to its preparation, the media, on the other hand, especially the NTA, the largest television network in Africa, is already training its personnel and upgrading its equipment where necessary. Going forward, it is expected that the integrity of the process would be enhanced even from the point of political campaigns. In Lagos, Ruth Ario-Samuel, NTA News.
And in the same vein, after several months of anticipation, political campaigns for 2023 general elections have started, with political parties expected to lay bare their manifestos. Part of the demands by speakers at a public lecture in Lagos is that beyond pitching for votes, the campaigns should also strive to answer salient national questions. Adeni Tayo completes the report.
It is obvious that a lot is riding on the 2023 general elections, as the hope and future of many are tied to the outcomes. Beyond the expectations of direct actors in the contest, the future of Nigeria will also take its shape from the colors and verdicts at the polls. While the election will try to provide answer to the question of who rules next, speakers at this public lecture, organized by Foursquare Gospel Church in Lagos, want answers to other critical posers, including how to ensure equitable distribution of resources and manage fault lines that are threatening the peace of the nation.
I think all the political gladiators should note that Nigeria's interest is first. There should be free and fair election. All the major three political parties will have a pie, no matter how big or no matter how small.
With a renewed confidence in the electoral process brought on by the recently passed Electoral Act, part of the expectation is that the church and other organizations encourage more Nigerians to participate in the forthcoming polls.
That is the role of the church, to ensure that their people are mobilized to have a part in the exercise of civil government.
For Professor Akin Oyebode, international law expert, the onset of political campaigns will provide a clue to the priorities of the next government.
So it's when we see the manifestos of the various parties that we can make informed judgment, informed opinion on who will better capture the essence of what needs to be done.
The stakes are indeed very high, and as Nigeria decides in the next few months, The sheer volume and nature of what needs to be done to set the nation on a higher pedestal of progress, they say, should inform choices at the poll. In Lagos, Adini Itawu, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for a break. Benin will be our next point of stop after the break.
This is to invite the general public to the 62nd Independence Day Special Jum'at Prayers and Public Lecture. Date: Friday Shura, the Islamic Foundation of True Democracy. Venue: Conference Hall, National Mosque, Abuja. Time: 10 a.m. Guest speaker: Professor Ahmad B. Dogarawa, ABU, Zaria. Chairman of the occasion: His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, CFR, MNI, the Sultan of Sokoto, and President General, Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. Special guest of honor: His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Special Jum'at prayer. Venue: National Mosque, Abuja. Time: 1 p.m. Professor Shehu Ahmed Saeed Galadanchi, CON, Murshid of the Abuja National Mosque. Announcer.
Sees that the Buhari-led administration has made remarkable progress,
like Lafia Transmission Station nearing completion.
Africa does not need charity, but partnerships that will promote the adequate investment
with the cooperation of all.
Sharing firsthand the experiences of reporters on the field as they bring to you weekly the beauty of Nigeria's diverse culture and the economic potentials therein. The Correspondent, development through the eye of the grassroots, showing every Monday at 1:30 p.m. on the network service of the NTA, with a repeat broadcast on NTA News 24 and NTA International. Join us.
The first edition of the Nigeria Broadcasting Awards is here. Participation and sponsorship information. Follow our social media handles at TNB Awards on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Powered by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria.
The security challenges we have faced as a government have been daunting. From terrorism to banditry, to kidnapping, to separatist violence, to crude oil theft, to armed robbery and Sunday crimes. It's undoubtedly the greatest challenge to the peace and security of our great country since the Civil War of 1967 to 1970. It is a kind of challenge that would have overwhelmed many nations. But thanks to the purposeful leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, we can say, I want to repeat, that the worst is over, and peace and security are gradually returning to the land.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Thank you for staying on Nationwide, and a warm welcome to Benin. Edo State government has appealed to the Central Bank of Nigeria to halt its decision to withdraw credit facility from small businesses. Governor Godwin Obaseki made the appeal at the inauguration of the Edo Jobs Center in Uromi, Esan North's local government area of the state. Elizabeth Omoko has the report.
The Edo Jobs Center was established in partnership with German Corporation, GIZ, and Uzaire, Iwa, Use, and in Benin City. It is aimed at opening up job access to those in rural communities. Governor Basaki says the state government, in collaboration with the CBN and Bank of Industry, have loaned almost 4 billion naira to small Epirito traditional rulers to encourage their subjects to avail themselves of their in Benin. Elizabeth Amoko, NTA News.
Now talking politics now, some political leaders in Edo State are calling for the postponement of the state's local government election. from January 14, 2023 to a later date after the nation's general elections. This, they say, is to enable political parties concentrate fully on the general elections. Jude Abugu reports.
The Edo State Independent Electoral Commission had on Thursday, August 18, issued notice for local government elections to political parties and other stakeholders. This is followed up with a political stakeholders meeting where concerns were raised by the participants. 1 month after, 12 political parties under the umbrella of Inter-Party Advisory Council still have concerns about the feasibility of January 14 date for the local government polls.
Local government election are these busy political activities ahead of 2020 general elections will make the whole exercise cumbersome for us.
Others hinged their reasons on timing and financial burdens these elections will bring upon participants.
We are committed already to general election. For us to get involved in the local government election is going to be a distraction to us. That will make so much financial burden on us.
ETSEC Chairman Justice James Oyomire said he has not received any correspondence on this from IPAC or any political party. Conducting the local government elections in Edo State has suffered series of setbacks owing to litigations. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
And that's the wrap here. Lydia in Abuja has the next line of reports for Nationwide.
Many thanks, Agatha. The 326-man national campaign organization of the People's Democratic Party for the 2023 presidential election has been inaugurated. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that 3 books written in honor of the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar were also unveiled at the event held in Abuja. It's a 2-event rolled into one. First, unveiling of 3 books, the story of Atiku Abubakar, landmark constitutional law cases 2004 to 2007, and also restructuring as a pathway to unity and development written in honor of Atiku Abubakar. To the inauguration of the PDP National Campaign Council, party's national chairman Yochayu was absent as the deputy national chairman North, Ambassador Umar Damagun, presided over the inauguration. Former Vice President Namadi Sambo, in a unanimous position with other stakeholders, harped on the need for party members to put their differences behind and work for the victory of Atiku Abubakar at the poll. As campaign bells rings, different groups have continued to turn out in solidarity for their political parties and candidates across various locations of the FCT ahead of 2023 general elections. The latest is the City Boy Movement roadwork in support of Tinubu and Shetima mandate. The roadwork, which began from the popular Unity Fountain Garden, took the youths in their numbers to different parts of the nation's city center. The procession, amongst other things, is to drum support for the APC presidential candidate and his running mate ahead of the 2023 general election and beyond.
Why we are here today is to promote Tinubu, Shetima, Ticket, and FCT, Ticket, and rest. We are all for our children. We pray that we are praying that this coming election should be peaceful. We should do a story in Nigeria that will make a peaceful election in 2023.
PPAN is trying to unveil its own platform of how we are going to bring all the Nigerian youth together. We are working on it already. Very soon our website will be ready, and from there we'll now have a database of how many youths we can get.
The group says apart from keeping themselves physically fit for the task that lies ahead, the rally is to raise the bar of the party and educate Nigerians in making informed decisions during election. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, Dr. Ibrahim Kana, has brokered peace with veterans over allegations of release of funds for payment of security debarment allowance. The Permanent Secretary says funds have not been made available for clearing the backlog of allowances and promised to commence payment as soon as funds are released.
The issue of the rumor that money has been released, from what we are told, money has not been released. Though it has been approved, the money has not been released. Am I correct, sir? Correct.
Please, pack your things with utmost respect, go back home and leave everything to us. People are insinuating that funds have been paid. I am the accounting officer of the Ministry of Defense. Any money that will have been paid will definitely come to my office. I am telling you in the name of God Almighty, no single kobo has been paid. No single kobo has been paid yet. But the intention is there. As soon as funds arrive, disbursements will commence immediately.
Which is that, yes, approval has been given for your security department allowance to be paid, but the funds have not yet been released. It's not anywhere, and either here in the ministry or in the defense headquarters or anywhere. That is what the Minister of Defense is working hard to secure the release. In addition to the request for the reduction of the period that will be paid.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, appreciates the Permanent Secretary for his intervention and urged the picketers to be patient, and efforts are on to attend to their demands. Asmao is in Sokoto to give us latest from that zone on Nationwide. Asmao.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. Ahead of the 2023 electioneering campaign, security operatives in Sokoto have cautioned politicians, youth and other relevant stakeholders was given at the election.
The meeting has, amongst other key reasons, interacting and agreeing on how to manage the unexpected during the forthcoming electioneering campaigns. Convener of the gathering, State Police Commissioner Muhammad Hussein Gumel, said it is important to analyze key root causes of electoral violence and examine best practices towards preventing its occurrence. The idea is to strengthen democratic institutions and structures that are considered critical to the enhancement of the integrity of the forthcoming electoral process.
The imprisonment will be thoroughly investigated by the police.
AIG Zone 10 Muhammad Sani Dalijan, represented by Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations Muhammad Bunu, enjoined politicians not to engage in hate speeches, eschew violence, and embrace peace. State Director, Department of State Security Services DSS, warned political gladiators not to allow spilling of blood in a quest for their political positions. Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, represented by District Head of Wamuko Aliu Barade, admonished politicians to emulate the political style of late Premier of Northern Nigeria, Sir Ahmad Bello Sardauna. Stakeholders that include State Director, National Orientation Agency, Abakar Moredan Chadi, Interparty Advisory Council, representatives of political parties, women in politics added their voices at the gathering. Representative of the electoral body INEC, Hawa Aliyu Kangiwa, assured of free, fair and credible elections come 2023. Climax of the forum was oath taken by IPAC, representatives of political parties, and women in politics on abiding by all laws binding the conduct of general elections. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
The citizenry on tracking limelight as the ICPC office in Sokoto organized a one-day sensitization dialogue with local government chairmen, traditional and religious leaders, and others.
National Ethics and Integrity Policy and Constituency Executive Project Tracking Initiative was launched by President Muhammadu Buhari to fight corruption. The ICPC is organizing this dialogue to move the fight against corruption forward, influence attitudinal change, and pass across the core values of the policy to all Nigerians. Chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Professor Bolaji Owosanoye, represented by board member of the commission, Hanatu Muhammad, charged traditional and religious leaders and civil societies to continue to play their role in the fight against corruption, especially in tracking constituency projects.
Constituency and executive projects being executed by members of the legislature and other public funded projects are public projects.
Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar, represented by District Head of Kilgori Dr. Muhammad Jabi Kilgori, commended the ICPC for its efforts towards fighting corruption, urging traditional and religious leaders to support the initiative by educating their subjects on tracking constituency projects and safeguarding them. Other speakers that include Christian Association of Nigeria, National Orientation Agency, local government chairmen, civil societies call on Nigerians to show concern on the execution of constituency projects and report its poor execution to the ICPC for necessary action to be taken. ICPC said in 2021, it has tracked 1,098 federal government projects worth 310 billion naira across 36 states and FCT Abuja. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
And a quick reminder that you can watch this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and all other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. We will take a short break, and when we return, Nationwide continues in Ibadan.
The 62nd Independence Day Celebration Planning Committee announces activities lined up for the celebration as follows. Public lecture focused on national unity. Date Thursday, 29 September 2022. Venue State House Conference Hall, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Jumaat public lecture. Date Friday, 30th September 2022. Venue National Mosque, Central Business District, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Special Jumaat prayers. Venue National Mosque, Central Business District, Abuja. Time 1 p.m. Presidential broadcast. Date Saturday, 1st October 2022. Time 7 a.m. Military parade. Date Saturday, 1st October 2022. Time 8 a.m. Announcer Planning Committee.
Introducing the Nigerian Marketing Awards. Celebrating marketing excellence in Nigeria on Friday, 11 November 2022 at the Eko Convention Center. Visit our website at www.mma-ng.com for more information. Entry closes September 30, 2022.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring an impeccable personality with purposeful leadership. Alhaji Mohammed Meitakobi, the Executive National President of Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria.
In 774 local governments, will be able to put all our structures in everywhere. I'll be able to bring the Retians members together, reconcile them to come and work for the progress of the association.
Welcome to a world of fun and excitement as we also present an assemblage of professionals in the media space. Some compelling NTA programs, current trends in the fashion world, ICT, sports, entertainment, and lots more. Get a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA, and welcome to Ibadan. 99 civil servants across ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs in Oyo State, have been honored for their outstanding services to the state. This is in commemoration of the 2021 State Productivity Day. Correspondent Ayomiku Ajibola reports that Governor Seyi Makinde presided over the ceremony.
To whom much is given, much is expected, and so this set of civil servants, ministry and agencies, among whom is Oyo State Road Transport Management Authority, OITMA, are all rewarded for their outstanding performance in the last 1 year, continue to recognize the contribution of civil public servants to the development of the state, described the annual merit award program as one of the many ways being used by his administration to boost the morale of civil and public servants in the state. His government, he said, will not sacrifice merit and orderliness for political exigencies in the state.
As an administration, within our past,
to ensure that civil and political partners are rewarded for the work they do.
Let me hereby enjoy all workers in the state that your efforts might not earn you an award this year, but be rest assured that you will be rewarded.
2021 Productivity and Merit Award Ceremony for Civil Servants is the third of its kind organized by the State government in Ibadan. Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Towards reducing road crashes during and beyond Ember months, the Oyo State Road Traffic Management Authority is set to provide adequate personnel to maintain free flow of traffic within the state. Kayode Oladosu reports that this was the thrust at a sensitization program to mark year 2022 Ember Month campaign in the state.
Making the road safer for various road users is a priority of road safety and traffic management personnel, particularly during the last quarter of the year, referred to as Ember Months. This is so due to perceived high fatality rates on Nigerian roads. It is on this premise that the Oyo State Road Traffic Management Authority staged an awareness campaign for commercial motorists with the theme Safer Roads for All.
Road safety is critical to this government. We came here to talk to the motorists, we came here to talk to the drivers, we came here to talk to all the stakeholders that all hands must be on deck to ensure that everyone is safe.
While attributing major road crashes to human errors, speakers at the event called on road users to abide by traffic codes and regulations.
There's nothing so special about October, November, December. Driver just has to be very, very careful.
I encourage the sensitization before the enforcement, the education before the enforcement, so that there won't be any problem.
The campaign was designed to educate road users on the importance of road safety, especially during the Ember months. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladosu, NTA News.
Those are the latest reports from Ibadan at this hour. Nationwide continues with Lydia in our Abuja studio.
The Police Service Commission has warned stakeholders involved in the enrollment of persons into the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System IPPIS to henceforth desist from capturing for payments any police new intake without an appointment letter issued by the Commission. A statement by the Commission's Head of Media and Public Relations, Ike Chukwani, indicates that this decision was taken, or the directive was given, at the Commission's plenary presided over by the Acting Chairman Justice Clara Ogumbi, retired, and attended by all the members of the Commission. The Commission, according to the plenary decision, shall be responsible for conducting the compulsory confirmation and promotion examination for the officers and approve that the date of appointments for graduates of the police academy would henceforth be the dates they graduated from the academy. The Commission also approved that the graduate's date of confirmation shall be 2 years after graduation, but on the condition that they sit for and pass the compulsory confirmation and promotion examination. In commemoration of the 2022 National Environment Sanitation Day, the Ministry of Environment is building capacity of communities to manage waste better through improved collection and disposal. Onege Fineface reports.
Pollution is one of triple planetary crises rocking the world. Others being climate change and loss of biological diversity. In Nigeria, open and indiscriminate dumping of refuse exacerbates pollution, especially in low-income neighborhoods found in states across the country. Obviously, this is a problem, and the Federal Ministry of Environment is attempting to solve it by engaging community leaders to diffuse information about environmental sanitation in their respective domains.
Every community needs to live up to its expectation to make sure that they have routine cleanup exercises, because government cannot come and clean your house for you.
It is a message accepted with promise. A change in attitude beginning with suburbs of Abuja, Nigeria's capital city.
We're going to flag up the sanitation days in this community. I assure you that we embark with the sanitation exercise.
Lessons learned, promises made, Support in the form of waste bins is provided to kickstart proper disposal of waste in the community.
River in Imo State has declined by 63%, while some rivers in
farming rate, and that is why His Excellency the Governor has deemed it fit to begin to rejuvenate our river.
High points of the event were lectures, symbolic tree planting, and river cleansing exercise. In Owerri, Rina Obase, NTA News.
The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has taken its anti-initiatives in their various domains to assist the Commission expose corrupt practices shrouded in constituency projects, especially in rural communities. This was at a sensitization dialogue held in Abuja. Kenneth Nanim reports.
These adornments in regalia is an indication of the power and position they hold as traditional rulers and religious leaders who can wield influence on their communities and congregations. They are from different domains within the FCT, alongside civil society, on the role of these opinion leaders on community behavioral change and advancement of core values of national ethics and integrity policy for the country's socio-economic rebirth.
Because of corruption and greed, we have afflicted ourselves with many sorrows, and we have deterred the rate of our development in our nation. We need a change in behavior, a change in attitude, a change in our direction.
The ICPC believes they have a critical role in monitoring implementation of constituency projects in their various areas with a view to exposing corrupt practices breeding at the grassroots.
Community members need to take ownership of these constituency projects and to develop interest in how the projects are conceived and how they are delivered.
Law and order is important, but if people don't change their attitude, it will be much more difficult for us.
By the ICPC is in part to promote good governance. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The need for individual sports has again been expressed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. This was when he received members of the TIG, the International Gymnastics Club, Abuja, which has been involved in the nurturing of more than 3,000 athletes for local and international competitions. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
These youngsters fascinated Vice President Yemi Osinbajo with gymnastics and acrobatic displays, alongside stories of their experiences. Gymnastics Club Abuja, a private sporting club whose members are visiting Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and are accompanied by their coaches and parents, appreciating the abundance of talents in sports in Nigeria.
So that's like gymnastics is a thing in Nigeria, but we don't know how to make it professional. And that local dancers, you see them carry themselves up and smash all the way down there. And if you go to Edo State also, you see them, they dance and then they do the danger rolling and stuff. And that's aerobic gymnastics. And then the Tinubu one is the acrobatic gymnastics. And some parts of to the west, you see them when they dance and shake and they do the bata. Bata is aerobic gymnastics. And that will be inculcated it into our system.
The club, founded 11 years ago, has trained 3,000 athletes, nurtured several gymnastics coaches, and represented the country at international competitions. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And that ends nationwide. But before we go, a reminder that you can always join NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. Thank you for watching. I am Lydia Odijo.